enabled. WazirX and CNBC TV18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future.
Hello and welcome to WazirX and CNBC TV18 present Crypto Digital Assets of the Future. Joining us today on the show is Siddharth Menon, who's co-founder and COO at WazirX. Siddharth, hi. Thank you so much for taking time out for us today. There has been so much happening in 2021. When you look back, it has been an overwhelming experience. But as we step into the new year as well, there is something very interesting and exciting that WazirX has done, and that is basically starting a free and bilingual course in blockchain technology. What is the tie-up? Who have you done it with, and what purpose would it serve?
Thanks, Manisha, for having us on board. I think from an industry growing or crypto adoption, what we realize and we've always been believing in is that education is the right way to do it, right, rather than the markets. And it has been always our effort to bring in crypto through to mass adoption through these channels, through these educational channels. We've been tying up with a lot of folks, right from English to Tier 3, from multilingual, and trying to see if we can expand this and give the right information right there. And primarily, this is not about just markets, but more about what is the opportunity, what you can do, and the basic fundamentals of the whole crypto revolution that we've been all talking about.
So, Sid, when you talk about that, well, yes, the kind of adoption that we've seen in India in the last year, whether it has been about the sign-ups on your platform or the participation and the volumes that India really generated, what is your sense on what is the kind of research, awareness, understanding does a common investor have when it comes to blockchain or cryptocurrencies?
Yes, I think compared to 2017, where we saw a big bull run of crypto, I think comparatively this time there's far more structured information right there for people to consume, to understand what is it. I remember in 2017 talking to a lot more people. They were just looking at the charts and jumping on board. But this time people do understand a bit more about it because there's so much content right there, structured content, which basically helping them learn about it, learn about the fundamentals of what crypto is and what markets is, and coming on board. Obviously, it's still largely new for new people driven by markets, but I think that's what we want to change. We want to make sure everybody who's coming on board has a better fundamental understanding about what is it about, right? Like it's not just like stock market. It's we are talking about somebody just early on into what is internet, right? Similarly, what is this blockchain and Web3, and what are we all talking about? Why are we excited about it, right? So these are fundamentals that we've been working on, and I'm really hoping that this time around we'll be able to change this phenomena more from a more educated approach rather than just a market approach.
So, Sid, talk to us more about this tie-up that you've done with the Gurukul and what purpose does it serve? What are the kind of enrollments that you've seen here?
It's too early to know about the numbers there, but definitely there has been a lot of action on social media. Right after we started rolling it out, we could see a lot more people coming back and saying thank you to after getting a little bit of educated into this space. It's a very structured content. Starting from for multilingual, right? So it's very important that we are not just educating a certain class of people, but to entire India. And India is very diverse, right? There's so many languages. Just to even serve India, it's so challenging. But then our team has been working together in terms of building that out. Trying to target each language at a time. I'm not sure if all the languages has been rolled out, but the team has been working towards this particular goal in terms of educating in different format. In fact, video format. There are now book format, depending on what gets rolled out. But we are doing it phase by phase and trying to reach out to more people and try to educate everybody about crypto, blockchain, and the entire industry.
Talk to me about the job opportunities because that is what exactly you mentioned. And there has been a NASSCOM report which says that 8 lakh new jobs would be created only via the blockchain and crypto industry by 2030.
I think the number is still maybe on a lower side. I do expect that number to be a lot bigger than this. especially what has happened in just in 2021. I think Coindesk reported where there was a job posting, job share of almost jump of more than 120% in just 8 months. That's a big number in general when you talk about a plethora of job opportunities that is there across the world. And this is also a very good specialization because it's a new industry that is just getting started. People think it's only for techies, but to be very frank, it's for everybody, right? You need people who can from the editorial background who is specializing in crypto, and within 3 months, what they learn is again outdated, and you have to keep learning because the industry itself is changing on a daily basis. And from a job opportunity point of view, there's so much needs to be built, and there's so much opportunity there for people to dive in. Whether you want to talk about economists, we are talking about product designers, we are talking about engineers, we are talking about even content creators who can actually simplify these concepts and be able to talk to more people about it. There's just it's an entire industry that's just jumping in, just like how the internet gave opportunity to a lot more people. Similarly, this whole move to blockchain and decentralization is giving a lot more opportunity to for a lot more jobs there.
A lot of people in this space are self-taught because yeah, there's no universities globally. They only started to crop up in the last year or so. How important is going to be the certification part in this education?
We do have a very long-term plan into this, but we are just experimenting it out and trying this out. This is just phase one. The phase one is just a simple basics, certification for you to just understand what blockchain or the technology lies, right? So these are the basics, fundamental. Once you have that, we can have different layers of certification, probably into tech side of things, or if it is about market side of things. And this could give them a better opportunity both in terms of job as well, right? So if you have done these sort of things, then it becomes much more easier for them to also get a job somewhere else. And these certification programs, when we have more layers of certification, will help you not just in job but also getting acquainted to a lot more projects, a lot more visibility into the industry. The idea is if you have done at a baseline, if I say if you have done a certification of basic market analysis, you can obviously tell a lot more people saying I have this. And what I still talk about, you can still at least know that this is coming from these certifications, right? So we want to sort of cut down on misinformation and focus more on information, right information. And this is all towards that. And I think this is just the beginning of what we want to achieve.
Sid, what comes to my mind is when you want to trade in shares and stocks, etc., there's a fixed curriculum there. This is what financial markets are all about. But when you talk about blockchain and cryptocurrencies, it's like a vast space for people who want to invest, deal, buy into cryptocurrencies, and then people who want to apply the technology into their day-to-day lives. Would you say it's going to be quite a daunting, even challenging task going forward?
Absolutely. I think Manisha, you nailed it because in the stock markets, basically it's about the markets, right? Just understand the market of it or what the stock can perform based on what the company can do. Here, when you talk about Ethereum, Ethereum is not just a stock, right? It's not just a financial investment. It's something. It also has a utility value. For that matter, if I have Ethereum, I'll be able to use decentralized apps on the Ethereum network, which is not possible with stocks. You can't hold a X stock and use somewhere, right? So there's fundamentally a lot of difference there. People do compare the blockchain and the crypto world to the stock market, but that's just part of the story. There's a lot more beyond that. And these are things that we are also working on, trying to educate a lot more people about these things. What are the use case about it? How it's being used? What good and bad, everything about it.
Sid, also the fact that the market has progressed way faster, and would you say that the people are still catching up with it, not wanting to miss it, and is the reason we see the kind of monies being deployed into this sector? But we were just trying to understand exchanges like yours, and then we have NFTs, which you also brought about in India. You were the first ones to do that, and then there is this conversation about decentralized exchanges. NFTs being part of it, DeFi is yet another thing. Yield farming, yet another. So there's just too much to learn and too short a time, because when you start getting familiar to one part of it, there's yet another new concept that's already in the markets.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a fast growing market, fast growing industry, I would say. Even I'm getting outdated every 2 weeks, right? So it's just a race against information, right? You're trying to grab and trying to understand where it is all going. It's amazing. It's good time to be. We're all lucky to be part of all these things. What's happening? Even when we look at WazirX, right? But our perspective was not just markets. Like I said, we don't look at crypto as just something that you buy and sell. It's not just an investment instrument. For us, it's the entire new internet that's starting, right? It's the entire new big revolution that is happening. And fundamentally, we want to sort of build that ecosystem for India. And for that ecosystem, just like we said, NFT marketplace, DeFi, and many other things, that GameFi, or many other concepts that's coming together. That's very on the blockchain revolution that is happening, right? So it's not just an exchange. We are going beyond that, and this takes a lot more time, and it's not just about building, but even mass adoption takes time. It needs a lot of education. We want to get people beyond just buying and selling, to actually being part of this Ethereum network, or Bitcoin network, or Solana network. There's so many things that is happening there. If you're able to bring them and get them as an early adopter, I think we are doing a great job in terms of adopting India to the whole blockchain revolution. And that by itself is a big thing, because I remember back during the internet boom, India did not have internet access to a lot more. Tier 2, tier 3 and all did not have access to these things. But that is going to change this time, and we are very confident about that. We can create that small dent for the future of blockchain and India.
Absolutely. And we look forward to that too. But with that, it's time for a very short break. Do not go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll talk even more about the products, blockchain, and various use cases in various levels. We'll get Sid to answer all of those questions.
WazirX and CNBC TV18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future. WazirX and CNBC TV18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future.
Welcome back, and we are in conversation with Siddharth Menon of WazirX. Sid, a lot of conversation, yes, but tell me about the various use cases or the application growth that we've seen come in because of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. There always would be one sector who would always want to invest in cryptocurrencies, make money out of that, and look at it as a financial asset class. But there are other various uses here as well.
I mean, when you talk about use cases, there's just plethora of use cases, or opportunity, I would say, right? Not just use case, and everybody's trying to solve one piece at a time. A very famous one that everybody knows about is DeFi space, the whole decentralized finance, and it's not just decentralized exchange, right? There are tons of more products that has been built on top of DeFi. There's lending product, there is NFT products, there NFT lending, there is derivative products right on DeFi, and yield farming. Many things have been built on top of this DeFi, right? And that by itself is a big industry. There's so many projects right there who building serious work, serious contribution towards this big Lego block of something that has to be solved right away. And that's one part of it. And then recently, in just 6 or 8 months, and I know projects that have been working on this since 2018, is the whole game economy that is coming in. The crypto game part is coming very strong in this industry, and it's very native to the gaming industry, right? Gaming industry is one of the biggest industry in this world, and they are adopting to the cryptoverse, and that's amazing. And the kind of adoption that is happening is amazing. And a lot of game developers are being building their products onto the NFT space and to the crypto token space. So there's so much happening around this, like even for that matter, right? The very basic things like notification has not been built on the blockchain space, and we can talk about a lot more projects that has been built trying to solve just that. So as an entrepreneur, like I can see in just in just 1 year, in 2021, so many more startups and projects are jumping on board. Even founders of top companies in India are now thinking about our blockchain strategy, right? What's our crypto strategy? How do we come on board? Even though we are so big, everybody's thinking about that. So it's just expanding. There's a lot of opportunity, there are a lot of problem to be solved, and these are very starting with very basic problems. And going forward, we'll see this industry getting more matured and building the platform for a lot more products to come.
Hmm. So, Sid, is there enough investment coming now? Because I know a couple of years back that also was a bit of a concern. But as you said, whether it's entrepreneurs, new startups, and all major companies, all major global companies want to be part of this growth right now.
Money is not a problem, capital is not a problem. Now projects are looking forward to, what more can you add beyond just adding funds. That's probably, advisory, or some sort of, a connection, partnership, many things like that. So I think it's a very good space to be at this point. If you want to start something, it's much more easier. As long as you can solve it, you have a lot of backers who can actually help you out and literally sit with you to, make sure you become successful, right? And it's a very friendly space. There's a lot of spirit, very creative spirit, a lot of josh in this startup space. And I really hope that, more and more people start taking this route.
Hmm. Oh, that clearly can be seen, Sid, because it's not just companies or tech guys like you or nerds and enthusiasts, but you also have seen the Bollywood jump in. There are influencers who never talked about crypto or technology a couple of years back, also have started talking about even creating awareness videos, and podcasts is what we see coming in from various influencers now.
Absolutely, like especially when you talk about influencers, right? Even the media, in general, mainstream media in 2017, 18, you can't even imagine crypto being spoken into the mainstream media. Now, we have folks like you who have actually, literally, dig into what is crypto, understanding each and everything about it, and being able to relate that to a lot more audience, right? This has never happened before, right? And we are so happy about. We can't even imagine this in 2019, and it's the right way as well, right? So there are a lot of people who've been talking about crypto, some with limited knowledge, some with good knowledge. And now we see a lot more voice for crypto, towards crypto, which is really good. But having said that, most importantly, there could be a lot more misinformation, and you must follow people who have done research, and then talking about their subject, right? And I think this growth is really good and healthy for the markets, and sorry, not just market, for the industry. And this is the right way to grow with all of them. And it's just growing, right? Like, I can see a lot more people from journalism to jumping the ship and trying to contribute to this industry. It's just phenomenal.
Would you also say that overall market also has matured? Because until last year the headlines were on how much a Bitcoin has declined or how much a Shiba Inu has gained. Do you see more maturity? The prices will continue to move, but do you see more maturity in sense of the technology itself?
Yes, Manisha, I think you just hit the nail there. I know people who just get started, everybody's just talking about markets first, right? Now, even in mainstream media, we're all talking beyond markets. We are not talking. In fact, in this whole recording, we did not even talk about Bitcoin price or anything to do with price. And that by itself shows, how matured the whole entire industry has gone. Only just in India, right? I think you're very right. Everybody's talking about the fundamentals of what is it. Everybody is trying to understand, what is Bitcoin, or the opportunity in Bitcoin. And that shows the maturity into this industry. And hopefully, we'll be able to grow from here, 10x or 20x.
And when you look back at 2021, there were a lot of positives, yes, and we even saw the regulatory noises evolve in a lot better framework there. When you look forward to 2022, what are we carrying forward from the previous year, and what new that this space would throw at us?
I think 21 is where a lot of people just, probably read what is Bitcoin, what is crypto, just an information, probably read bit more about it. But now, I know a lot more people who are actually taking that step to shift from what their existing job to this. And that by itself is a big thing, because these are guys who probably would love to, are in their comfort zone, but want to take this plunge because they're so excited about this, this whole industry that is there. I think that's going to happen from a career perspective. We'll see a lot more opportunity in the blockchain space, as well as a lot more people jumping into this space. That's the career part of it. Even in the market now, we do see a lot of, some people have burned their fingers and now are taking a step back and trying to understand, how do I get into the market, or how do I exit the market? There's a lot more maturity. There's, even when they talk about it, there's a lot more understanding about how markets works. Compare that to probably early 21 or maybe even 19, where they're just completely going blind about it. So I think there's this maturity across everything that's happening. Even for that matter, the media that we're all part of, where the kind of conversation that we are having is more very long term, very fundamental towards this journey. And I think that would continue in 2022, where we will see a lot more mega adoption coming in. And I really hope that India is part of this, right? And I'm very looking forward to what's ahead in 2022. Very looking forward to a right regulatory framework for all of us, so that this becomes a more safer place for everybody else.
Oh, well, absolutely. And we will, of course, talk again about a load of other topics as well, because this is a vast subject, never ending, and there's just so much to talk about and learn into this one. But Siddharth Menon, thank you so much for spending your time today on CNBC TV 18. We appreciate it. Thank you.
WazirX and CNBC TV 18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.